Let's talk Tanya for the 9th of Shevat of a leap year. Yesterday in the Tanya we talked about how every single Jewish person has the shining, the Or Ein Sof, the infinite light of God is shining within the neshama, within the soul of every Jewish person. But where in the neshama is this light? Earlier on in Tanya, specifically in chapter 3, we discussed the structure of the neshama and the components of the neshama. And if you recall, we talked about, specifically, we had one segment where we talked about the first two attributes of the neshama, Chachma and Bina, wisdom and understanding, which we also translated as awareness and processing. Let's revisit that. Chachma is awareness. Chachma is receptivity, is intake, which means that by definition, Chachma is associated with bittul, with nullification. The idea of Chachma is me receiving from either from a deeper place inside of me, or receiving from someone or something outside of me. The key to being receptive is the ability to put oneself aside and being fully empty and open to whatever you're receiving. Which is why Chachma, the letters of Chachma also can be transfigured to Koyach Ma, which means the power or the capacity for Ma. For Ma means what is that, which is nullification. Then there's Bina. Bina is processing. Bina is me making sense out of it, me figuring it out, me analyzing it. Bina is the beginning of Yeshus. Bina is the beginning of my ego, my selfhood. Where is the Or Ein Sof? Where is the infinite light of Hashem? In my neshama, in Chachma. And why is that? My mind cannot possibly grasp God. God isn't graspable with intellect. But Chachma, in my capacity for bittul, for nullification, that's where I can touch God, and that's where God can shine in my soul. And because my essential connection with Hashem is through my Chachma, and Chachma is essentially beyond logic, because logic really and intellect really begins with Bina, that's where my processing begins, is beyond what I can intellectually process. That's why the relationship that every single Jew enjoys with God is essentially beyond logic, transcends logic. It is a Chachma relationship, not a Bina relationship. It doesn't make sense. Throughout our history, you've had hundreds of thousands, millions of Jews who have willingly given up their lives to sanctify God's name rather than repudiate or reject their Jewish connection with God. Does that make sense? Is it logical? But it's not about logic. Our relationship with God transcends logic. Why? Because our relationship with God is because the Or Ein Sof, the infinite light of God, is shining in the Chachma of our soul. How does this translate into love for God? What does that mean? That we will find out in tomorrow's Tanya.